Hello everyone, very excited to be on this new live today for the last release of SalesMind. The version is now 2.6. It is now available for you, right? So you can have access to all the features that we will go through today and hear a quick glimpse of it. So we increase the capacity and the capabilities of the agent. Basically, we allow them to find contact information, to enrich your lead contact information, find email and find phone numbers. We also make that happen in 3 different places in the application: the campaign, the inbox, the lead list. You can enrich your email and contact from everywhere. We reworked the interface of the inbox to make it adaptable and very high quality for every single type of screen. We started to implement a way for LinkedIn account called to be warmed with SalesMind. So eventually we will go through that new feature, but we warm the account in order to make and mimic human activity. And last but not least, we improve the inbox and we add more information about the lead. So without further delay, let's start and go through this new exciting release. All right. So here you see the screen of the campaign that is running for some of our profile. And let's start with the agent. So if you go in the agent, now you can find a new tab which name integration. When you get there, this is where you can see email enrichment, where we can get the API key of full enrich or ICP. And with those partners, you can use your own credit with their services, right? So if you click on get your API key, it's very simple, very straightforward. Create an account, put your credit card, or use only the free trial that they offer, and get the API key in the settings, put it here, and you're all set, right? This is very straightforward. You can use a full enrich or ICP. We also provide SalesMind capabilities for our users to stay and remain within SalesMind without having to use external software. We provide that on a subscription-based model, right? So I'll let you go through here and see if there is any option that fits what you need, right? So that is the very first thing we did in this new version in the agent. Now let's go to the second one. So you have been several to ask for more control and more detail on every campaign, on your outbound. So we heard you. We build advanced settings, right? So advanced settings, it's available from the agent, from the sender, and from the campaign. But now listen, only the settings in the campaign are affecting the outreach. Everything that are set up in the agent here and everything that is set up in the sender here in the outreach setting, this is the same setting, right? But the difference is the setting in the agent, the setting in the sender, they apply for new campaigns. So the change we've done here is when you create or you update your settings. Let's say, for example, I now want to target my prospect only within their business hour, auto detect prospect business hour. Our AI does that efficiently. Now I save change, I can apply that setting to senders and campaigns, right? So eventually, if I want to select Clement, David, and Florent, and I want to apply this specific set of settings to a single campaign or several one, I can. So I won't do it, but eventually this is how that happened. And now, when a sender from this team will create a campaign, we will find exactly the same set of settings, right? So let's get through it. I skip that and it's saved. Now let's see, we have company SalesMind, company 101, and company LinkedIn. Obviously, we don't want to reach LinkedIn or any of our competitors. So now let's see how it materialized on the campaign. Now I select a profile that is in the campaign. I select his experience, and the second step in the settings, this is where I can observe that I have the same settings, right? So settings, SalesMind, 101, and LinkedIn. All those filter, all those settings apply for every single new campaign. This is a default because it has been set in the agent or the sender. So this is a way for you to have one configuration for an agent or a sender and replicate that over time while giving you access to higher control. Because here, for example, if I want to reach people from SalesMind, I simply do that and I'm okay, right? So I will reach the people in this campaign that belong to the company SalesMind because I remove that from the campaign. Only the campaign is affecting the outreach control, right? So if you have whatever blacklist in your agent and sender, if this is not found in your campaign, the outreach won't follow those rules. All right. So this is one of the main features we developed in this release. We allow you to attach the settings you just set for senders, a set of senders, a campaign, or a set of campaigns. And then you can ensure that your outreach remain consistent. All right. So now let's get back to the agent and see a little bit more in depth what we've done with the sender and how you can now warm an account. Right. So let's take Risa, for example. And then in the LinkedIn connection tab, I have now two new toggles. The first one is to warm the account. So you have a little explanation. Basically, we will toggle the auto accept the connection request. We will increase the limit of outreach day by day, right? So the first day going to be 5, 2 days later going to be 7, 2 days later going to be 8, 2 days later going to be 11, and so on. We increase the number of action gradually. And then we toggle the auto accept connection request, and then we toggle the next advanced settings, which is pending connection request. So we clean the connection requests that are pending and show to LinkedIn that when you invite someone, that person accepts and this list is clean, right? So you have the warm up automatically. If your account is when you can warm up your account, it will go to the top and run the automation as much as it can, the most safely possible ever. Because the way how LinkedIn is looking at activities, it is not like the number of activity you do per day. This is the number of activity you do over time. So let's say today you start with 0 connection request, 0 message, 0 visit, 0 follow. You're not using LinkedIn. If you go to 30 connection request, 100 message tomorrow, you're flagged. This is a red flag. However, if you start today with 0, tomorrow 2, and a few messages, and then the day after, few more connection requests, 5, 7, this is completely normal. This is an increase of the usage from a user. LinkedIn do not tag that as a red flag, and then your account is safe. What we're trying to do with that is we observe recently and in the past that the email outreach has becoming increasingly difficult. And we expect LinkedIn to be as difficult, while you still need to have warming into a profile to ensure that people also are convinced by this profile. So eventually, it is really important for the account to be warm when you start outreach. It is not only mean the number of activities that we are doing and stuff. It also means how do you build your profile, because that specific LinkedIn profile become a landing page. When you start sending thousands of messages per month, trust me, people go into your LinkedIn profile and understand what you're trying to do, what you're trying to sell, what you have to offer to this world, what is your value proposition. If they cannot find that, they are gone and they will never engage with you. So this is why the warm-up is made for. Now let's get a little bit into the next automation we've set up is automate the connection request acceptance. So basically you will be able to accept once a day everyone that is sending a connection request. This is part of the process of the warming, but also a way for you to grow your network effectively without manual work. You can toggle it, untoggle, and then this is how it works. So now let's go to the most exciting part for me. The team have been working very hard on that new feature, and that is the inbox. So you'll tell me eventually, yeah, we had the inbox before, but now look back the video somewhere around and look at that. Look at, there is a very different view, a very different interface. Now the interface is adaptable for large screen and small screen, right? And we revise the proportion of each section to ensure that it is very effective, very efficient, but also pleasant to work with. What we observe is usually our users are spending between 45 to 1 hour and a half on that page. And somehow it is understandable. When you have, in our case, 1,200 messages, there is some people we need to move forward in the funnel of conversion. But let's get back to the main topic. So we've redesigned the interface. We've made it smoother. We've made it more beautiful. We make it more harmonized. But the real feature behind is, let's take, for example, one of those guys, and we added the MBTI. So now you can find the profile of those person here. Or let's find another one, like this one, for example. Okay, so now you can find the psychological analysis of this person from the inbox directly, as well as his profile and the social. So let's say, for example, that this person, we need to get his number. So I shared with you that now you can connect SalesMind to full Enrich ICP or take the SalesMind subscription to enrich all your contacts. But let me show you how. So you're here in the inbox, and then you have new toggle, new bulk action, and new icon on top of that, right? So this one mark as unread, mark as read. So this is the basic one. Edit label, right? Targeting, converted, interested, invitation ignored, and so on. So I can manually set up that. I can mark as to reply. So in that case, I will get a notification that this person is someone that I need to reply with the toggle your turn. And terminate. If I do terminate, eventually it means this conversation do not need further interaction. Leave it and come back eventually another time. We will remove the your turn, as you can see. Remove your turn, and then this person won't show in the status your turn next time you refresh the page. But if you look at carefully, you have now 3 dots. What is the edit the campaign? Retrieve email address, retrieve phone number, and so on. So here I retrieve the email address, and eventually the email address appear in the social profile, right? So in the left menu, I have access to that. I can do it one by one from here, phone number or email, but I also can do it in bulk, right? So here I select everything, and then here 3 dots, retrieve email address, retrieve phone number. Don't do delete conversation, but that's the one that you're looking for, all right? So you can do that from the inbox. Obviously, you can do that from the lead list as well, right? So here, select all and enrich, retrieve email address, retrieve phone number. The same in the campaign themselves. So if you have the lead list here, you can select the people you want and then retrieve their email address the same way as what you do in the inbox. So that's it for this last update. Stay tuned. The next one is coming really soon. In 2 weeks from now, we release mainly every 2 weeks. That's why we do this live accordingly, right? So we will introduce more features. And one thing that we added this iteration and that was highly demanded by our was the affiliate link. While I cannot share more about this right now, this is coming for the next iteration for sure. All right. So if you to hurry, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn and you will get the beta test version of it. Otherwise, see you in the next video and let me introduce that next time. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, like this video. That gives us a lot of strength to continue doing this content, explaining you how to make outbound better with AI and continuing the journey of skyrocketing the lead acquisition. Thank you very much, everyone, and talk to you very soon.